In this video, we're moving on to something called dimensional analysis, where we use conversion factors. This is something that I still use on a very regular basis in my everyday life. Calculating out dosage of medicine, converting a recipe down to different measurements. So if I find something that someone made in another country and I need to convert it from metric to English, or if I'm trying to split a recipe. So this is something that I really use quite a bit. Hopefully you'll be able to get some use out of it as well outside of the classroom. All right, so our first one, we are going to take 5,400 inches and we're going to convert it to miles. There is a box at the top that gives us all of our conversion factors. Conversion factors tell us how much of something is equal to another set of units. So we're going to use something that my students in the past have started calling T-charts. Sometimes you'll see them where they'll put the conversion factor and they'll do something like this, and then they come up with an answer. Mine are the same thing. Instead of multiplication signs, I put a line. So both of these are the exact same thing. You'll see it different ways. Don't let that confuse you. All right, so we always start with the number that they give us in the problem that is not a conversion factor. For these first few problems, they only give us one number, and so it's really easy to figure out what to start with. But when we get to the word problems, not only do I give you the number that you should start with, but I also give you the conversion factors. So they get a little more challenging. So number one, in our very first box, we're going to put 5,400 inches. We have to put the units on the number. That's the whole thing about dimensional analysis. It's all based on units. So it doesn't matter if you can't figure out, should I multiply these numbers or should I divide them? What you're trying to figure out are what units do I'm starting with, what units am I going to end with. All right, so we have 54 inches. I need to get that down to miles. If we think about it, they tell us 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. But going from inches to centimeters, that's actually smaller. We want to go larger. It tells us 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So I can change my inches to feet. We know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So I know it's not in the box, but I really hope you know that one. I'm going to abbreviate foot as FT. All right, so I want my units of inches to cancel out. So when we're in a math class and we want something to cancel, we divide them. Because if we have something on top and we have the same thing on bottom, they cancel. So I'm going to put my 12 inches on bottom, and I'm going to put my 1 foot on top. I have inches on top, and I have inches on bottom, so they cancel out. So if I were to stop right now and put this in my calculator as 5,400 times 1 divided by 12, I would have how many feet there are in 5,400 inches. But I don't want my answer in feet. I want it in miles. So I need to draw another box. I need to keep going. So now, looking at the top, we can see there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. All right. I want my answer to end in miles. That's what I want. So if we look at this box up here, what you want goes in top. I want my answer in miles. So I'm going to put 1 mile at the top, and I'm going to put 5,280 feet on the bottom. And this is good because if I have feet on top and feet on bottom, they cancel. I don't want my answer in feet. I want it in miles. And since I have miles at the top in my last box, I know I can stop. I don't need to draw any more boxes. So now you can get out your calculator, multiply your numbers across the top. So 5,400 times 1 times 1 gives me 5,400. Multiply your numbers across the bottom. So 12 times 5,280 gives me 63,360. So now I need to divide those two values, and I get 0.085, and make sure you write units. Miles, 0.085 miles. All right. If you'll notice, I put a squiggle line in the box underneath 5,400 just because we didn't use it. If we were doing something like miles per hour, we would put our miles on top and our hours in that bottom box, but we just didn't need it this time. All right, on number 2, we want to go 16 weeks to seconds. So how many seconds are there in 16 weeks? So we're going to start with 16 weeks. It's not weeks per something, so we can squiggle out that box. All right, so now we're trying to go smaller. Right? Seconds are smaller than weeks. So we can say in 1 week, there are 7 days. I put my week on bottom because I want it to cancel. I don't want weeks squared. If I put weeks on top, I would multiply them, and that would be weeks squared. I want them to cancel out, so I put one on top and one on bottom. All right, we're still not to seconds. So what do I know about days? There are 24 hours in 1 day. I have days on top, so I need to get rid of it. I want days on bottom. So in 1 day, there are 24 hours. My days cancel. If I were to stop right now and put this in my calculator, I could figure out how many hours there are in 16 weeks. That's not what I need to know, so I need to draw another box. So what do I know about hours? We know that there in 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. I put my hour on bottom because I want it to cancel out with the hours on top. All right, so now I'm almost to seconds. I need one more box because in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. I put my minutes on bottom because I want it to cancel out with the minutes that I had on top. What I want should go on top. I want my answer in seconds. And that's what I have in the top of my last box. So that means I can stop. So now you can take out your calculator. You multiply all the numbers across the top and multiply across the bottom. That's just 1. So when you divide these two, you get 9,676,800 seconds. Don't forget to put those units on there. All right. Number 3, 54 yards to millimeters. So 54 yards. It's not yards per something, so I can mark that box out. So what do we know about a yard? We got to get to something we can use. In 1 yard, there's 3 feet. So I have yard on top. I need to put yards on bottom so that I can get rid of it, so it'll cancel. So 1 yard, 3 feet. Yards cancel. There are 12 inches in a foot. I'm going to put my 1 foot on bottom so it'll cancel. Put my 12 inches on top. If we scroll back, we're not to millimeters yet, so I know I'm going to need another box. Scroll back to the top. I know that there are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. So I'm going to plug that one in. I'm still not to millimeters. If I go back to my metric scale, I know that if I have 1 centimeter and I'm going down to millimeters, if I'm going down, I move my decimal 1 time. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So now I can plug that in. I have centimeters at the top, so I want my 1 centimeter at the top and my 10 millimeters. I'm sorry, my 1 centimeter on the bottom, so that my millimeters are on top. Millimeters is what I want, and it's on the top, so I can stop. And so now I'm going to pick up my calculator, Now I'm going to multiply all the numbers across the top. And I'm going to multiply all the numbers across the bottom. And I'm going to divide those two values together. And this is what I get. 49,377.6 millimeters. All right, so that was pretty straightforward. Number 5 gets a little bit different. Let me lower this because I can't reach it. All right. There are 1.09 grams per milliliter. All right. So 1.09 grams over 1 milliliter. It's the exact same thing as 1.09 grams per milliliter. So what they want us to do is they want us to change our grams to pounds and milliliters to gallons. So that's going to be my first thing. I'm going to change my grams to pounds, and then I'm going to change my milliliters to gallons. And my smartboard is way out of line. All right, so let me flip back a page to see what my conversion is. All right, so I got a direct one. 454 grams is equal to 1 pound. So I'm going to do that first. I have grams on top, so now my 454 grams needs to go on bottom. 1 pound. All right, so that's it for the top part. I'm through. I went from grams to pounds. Well, now I need to get my milliliters to gallons. So I'm just going to draw another box. I'm just going to keep going. So let me go back to my other one and see. I'm trying to get milliliters to gallons. I can get milliliters to quarts, and then quarts to gallons. So 946 milliliters in 1 quart, 4 quarts in 1 gallon. Perfect. All right, so if I have milliliters now are on bottom down here. So my 946 milliliters, I want it to cancel out. So I have to put it on top now. So that said 946 milliliters in 1 quart. So I had milliliters on top and milliliters on bottom. They cancel. I don't want my answer in pounds per quart. I want it in pounds per gallon, so I need one more box. I know there's 4 quarts in a gallon. I already have quarts on the bottom and I want it to cancel out, so I need to put my 4 quarts on top, my 1 gallon on bottom. Quarts cancel. So now I've got pounds here and I've got gallons here. So I'm going to multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, and divide the two. So 9.08 pounds per gallon. All right, number 6. It goes back to one of the easy ones. 19 inches to feet. So I'm going to start with 19 inches. It's not inches per something, so we squiggle that out. I know that there are 12 inches in a foot. I need to put my inches on bottom so it cancels. So now I multiply across the top, divide by what's on the bottom, and I get 1.58 feet. All right, number 7, 840 inches to centimeters. All right, on the previous page we have 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So this will be a direct one as well. So 840 inches. In 1 inch, I'm going to put my inches on bottom. There are 2.54 centimeters. So now I can stop. I got the centimeters. Multiply across the top. Divide by what's on the bottom. So we get 2,133.6 centimeters. All right, now I'm going to move on to the word problems. These are a little bit tricky because you have to figure out what are you supposed to start with and what are you supposed to end with. You don't have a nice pretty chart of conversion factors either. So we have to figure out what's equal to what. So let's look at number 12. You're throwing a pizza party for 15 people. You figure that each person will get 4 slices. You call up the pizza place and learn that each pizza will cost you $14.78 and it will be cut into 12 slices. How much is the pizza going to cost you? You only have $70. Will you have enough money? Let's just look at everything up to the first question. We'll look at the you only have $70 and do you have enough money afterwards. All right, so we need to find conversion factors first. I'll try to underline them. My smartboard's not very good. All right, we're throwing a pizza party for 15 people. Our 15 people is not equal to anything, so we're going to keep going. You figure that each person will eat 4 slices. So that's a conversion factor. Each person, so one person is going to get 4 slices. Okay, I won't let me mark that. You call up the pizza place and you learn that each pizza costs you $14.78. So that's another conversion factor. So each pizza, $14.78. It will be cut into 12 slices. What is it? It's pizza. It is one pizza. So one pizza is equal to 12 slices. All right, so now I've tried to mark all the conversion factors. My smartboard won't really let me. Everything's accounted for except for the 15 people. So since the 15 people is not equal to anything else, that's what we're going to start with. So whatever number's not your conversion factor, it's what you're going to start with. I'm going to abbreviate. PEOP is people. All right, so we have 15 people. What do we know about the people? Well, in the rest of that sentence, it says each person will eat 4 slices. So one people will eat 4 slices of pizza. All right, so do we need to keep going? What are we trying to find? We're trying to find how much is the pizza going to cost. So we're trying to end with dollars. We're trying to end with money. Right now we're at slices, so we do need to keep going. All right, so what do we know about slices? There's 12 slices in one pizza. Well, I have slices on top right now, so I need to put my 12 slices on bottom and my one pizza on top. And what else do I know about pizza? It costs $14.78. So one pizza costs $14.78. So the question asks, how much will it cost? So we're looking for money. We can stop now because that's what we've gotten to. I'm sorry for the terrible handwriting. I'll realign my board in just a second. All right, so now we can multiply across the top. We can multiply across the bottom and divide the two. So we get 88. So $73.90 is how much it will cost to feed 15 people 4 slices of pizza. So now we can look at the rest of it. You only have $70. Do you have enough money? No, you don't. All right, number 13. Every 3 times I clean my room, my mother makes me an apple pie. All right, so that very first sentence is a conversion factor. You have every 3 times equals 1 apple pie. I clean my room 9 times. How many apple pies does she owe me? Does the 9 times equal anything? No. It's not a conversion factor. So since it's not a conversion factor, that's what we start with. So 9 times. What do we know about times? Well, for every 3 times, I get 1 apple pie. So since we have times on top, I'm going to put my 3 times on bottom. I'm going to put 1 pie on top. Our question says, how many pies does she owe me? We're trying to find pies. That's what we have. We have pies. So now we don't have to draw any more boxes. We can stop. So 9 times 1 divided by 3. Your mom owes you 3 apple pies for cleaning your room. What a wonderful mother. All right, and number 14. In my chemistry class, 28 students are each given 3 pens. All right, so are 28 students given 3 pens? No. Each student is given 3 pens. So each means one student gives 3 pens. There are 8 pens in one package. So that's a conversion. Priced at $1.88 per package. So a package of pens is $1.88. What is the total cost of giving away pens? So the only number that I don't have marked as a conversion factor is 28 students. So that's what we start with. 28 students. What do we know about these students? They each have 3 pens. Well, how many is each? That's 1. So 1 student equals 3 pens. So I'm going to put student on bottom, so it'll cancel. I'm going to put 3 pens on top. All right. It says, what is the total cost? So we want to end with money. We're at pens right now, so we need another box. What do we know about these pens? That there's 8 of them in one package. So right now I have pens on top, so I need to put 8 pens on bottom. And that's equal to 1 package. If I stop right now, it tells me how many packages I should buy, but it doesn't tell me how much it costs. I need to know that before I go to the grocery store. So I need to know how much money to take. So I need another box. I know that 1 package costs $1.88. Those must be some cheap pens. We have packages on top right now. So 1 package. I have to put my $1.88 on the top. And that's where I want it. Because the question asks, what is the total cost? So we want to end in money. So I can stop. We multiply the top and get an answer. We multiply the bottom and get an answer. And we divide the 2. So it costs $19.74 to give 28 students 3 pens. That's good information to know. If you need any extra help with these, please let me know in class. We can work on these together.